Do you wish you knew exactly how to write a sales post to attract soulmate clients using the most powerful gifts from your astrology chart? Well, guess what? Now you can learn how for free. I'm going to share my cosmic copywriting secrets that have helped people to instantly turn strangers on the internet into buyers for their high-ticket offers. In my 5-part training series, Cosmic Attraction Copywriting, you'll learn the mindset switch that takes my clients from feeling confused about their content or not feeling fully safe to share their story online to making sales more easily and naturally than ever before, with the astrological placement that unlocks a new level of depth in your storytelling that builds trust 10 times faster with the clients who are genuinely a very aligned fit to work with you. Plus, the messaging tweaks that take my clients from attracting people who can't afford it to easy sales into 5-figure offers with no sales calls. And you'll get clarity on the 3 things your soulmate clients need to hear from you consistently in your message to feel confident and excited to buy your offer. You'll also get my writing process prompts to share your story in a powerful way that stands out to the right people and leads to ready-to-buy clients popping up into your DMs asking to work with you. Click the link in the description for instant access to Cosmic Attraction Copywriting. This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a 6-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I am here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, Sarah Mack here. Welcome back to the Creative Magic Club podcast. I'm here to help you to sign high-ticket clients through authentic storytelling guided by astrology. And this is the 3rd part in a 3-part series on soulmate client attraction. So if you haven't listened to the last 2 weeks, definitely go back and listen to them. Honestly, there are so many valuable nuggets that when you integrate them into your messaging, you're going to start seeing more sales. So today I'm going to give you some real talk about what it actually takes to magnetize high-ticket clients and to really get to that next level of understanding around what is required from you when you show up in your content and unpack what we actually mean when we talk about magnetism. Right? Like, what is it that makes people feel that full body, I desire to work with this person. I believe and trust that this person is the gateway to my next level, to the big transformation that I'm calling in and committing to and saying yes to. So the number one thing that makes you magnetic, it's not having the perfect copy. It's not having the perfect graphics. It's really your truth. Your truth is the most magnetic thing about you. And I hear this a lot from so many of you is I just want to be able to show up and be me. And for that to be the thing that converts to sales. So we're going to unpack what it really takes for you to be able to do that today. Because messaging is what it really is sharing your truth in a strategic way. You know, unless you're a blogger or like a lifestyle influencer who shows up for the sake of blogging, for the sake of showing up, for the sake of here's my life, these are my stories, and I'm going to talk about, you know, anything and everything, like here's a day in the life, unless that is a part of your content strategy. And if the intention and the purpose of your content when you show up online is to sign clients and to sign clients into a high ticket offer, that's a very specific brand strategy that requires very specific strategic moves. I think a lot of the time people think, I just want to have that creative freedom, self-expression, show up and be me, talk about whatever I want to talk about. But we don't just want a verbal onslaught of all of your thoughts and activities, right? As we know, it can be very overwhelming. Like, what do I talk about today? when you don't have that clear guided strategy around your content. So it's so important to know what you're doing when you're showing up and telling strategic storytelling focused really around what you stand for, what moves and drives you. And, this can be a lens that really does allow you to talk about a very broad and diverse range of topics. Like, you really do get to be you. You really do get to tell stories about whatever is most lighting you up, but it's so important to be running it through a very specific filter so that you're not coming across as being all over the place. And most importantly, so that every single piece of content is driving clients into your offer. And driving the right clients, first and foremost. One of the most important things to think about that really makes you magnetic to the right people is why you are showing up in the first place. I'm really staying connected to that on both the micro and the macro level. So I talk about micro and macro stories all the time with my clients. And I find this is just a really helpful way to give us a lens that can spark so many storytelling ideas and really pull forward a lot of very interesting and different layers in our brand storytelling that's going to hit the mark in multiple ways for people who have discovered our content. So here's an example of what I mean by that. So my macro why is really what I stand for. Like, the main value, it's really why I started my business in the first place. It was for the value of creative freedom, right? Felt frustrated in previous careers by my schedule, by the content that I was working with, by the relationship experiences I had with collaborators. That's what drove me to become an entrepreneur. I wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to call the shots on all my projects, every single thing I was investing my energy into. I wanted to call the shots over my schedule, my life, my personal life, my body, my health, and to be able to carve out space for my creative projects. Why? That is just who I am. That is the life that I want to live. And with my Chiron and Gemini, I know so many of you resonate with this. Obviously, that struggle for visibility, struggle for feeling seen, for feeling accepted, feeling celebrated for who we are. And so many of us as minority identities, as women, as creators have felt dismissed, have felt like the things we want to do aren't possible within the capitalist patriarchal structures that we live in. And so, I stand for all of us creative rebels who really just needed to do things in our own way, right? We needed to build paths outside of the structures that we were presented with. So in entrepreneurship, I take a stand for building our own channels, for building our own audience, for impacting the communities that I deeply care most about, doing the work that I care most about with people who appreciate me, who value me not for superficial things, but for really who I am as a person, and allow me to bring my deepest gifts and creativity into the work that I do with my collaborators and clients. And, that's building a business that's given me space to write my book, to work on my music. And I have a very exciting announcement. I officially got the intuitive green light to start working on my next writing project. All I'm going to say for now is it's a screenplay. So it's a new, scary, exciting, creative adventure. And apparently now's the time to press go. I'm just about to go into second trimester. So clearly the creative energy is flowing. And now is the time for me to say yes to a new project, which is so freaking exciting. And I built a business that allows me to say yes to the life that I want. And that is creative freedom to me. To be able to write what I want to write, create what I want to create, serve clients and raise babies, and have a good quality life of fulfillment. That is really the definition of wealth for me. These are my true heartfelt desires for this moment in my life. So what is that for you? And here's a prompt for you to just do some stream of consciousness journaling on. If I'm completely honest with myself, what do I desire for my life? Like, put on some vibey music, do some movement, meditate, get into the zone, really connect to yourself and write and write and write and write, and just hold some space for your true desires. There's no right or wrong desire. And then share that with your audience. They're going to choose you. Your clients are going to choose you because of the nuances of your value system. the way you live as you do the work that you do. Why? Because they are more compatible with the way that you do things. And naturally, you will be able to answer more of their questions based on lived experience. This is what people are paying you a high value price tag for. They are choosing you to lead them through what you have experienced and embodied. And of course, you don't have to have the exact same lives. But when you're operating under the same value systems, you understand their own decision-making process at a deeper level, and therefore you can help them more specifically. So very often clients will be attracted to us because of one expression of our value system, even if, their lives look very different in many other ways. But it's our value system that anchors us together and makes us the best fit for leading and supporting our clients. So it's so, so, so important that you make that clear. And that happens through our stories and through telling our truth. And then what I mean by the micro level is, what are those smaller, more dialed in conversations that show people really what you're taking a stand for? So, within obviously talking about creative freedom, talking about doing business and life in the way that makes me happy, there are many expressions that could look like. So I dial that in on a micro level to the specific conversations that I'm having day to day with clients, which is really helping other women and creative, magical witches and entrepreneurs to live their best black sheep life, whatever that looks like for them. And the avenue that has allowed me to have that life and vision has been high ticket sales. Through really mastering that skill. First it was copywriting, then it was money mindset, and then it was high ticket sales, and then using astrology to be able to tailor strategy for my clients according to their own unique gifts, strengths, and challenges. So the main problem that I solve is helping multi-talented, multi-passionate creative entrepreneurs and creative rebels to pull out powerful brand stories that lead to sales from dream clients into their high ticket offers, and really teaching them the strategic language and giving them their own unique frameworks to talk about their work in powerful ways that leads to magnetizing their soulmate clients. So micro topics that I talk about are related to storytelling, content, strategy, money mindset, using astrology as a tool to do this work. So you can see how people are like, these are the conversations and skills that I am ready to invest in, and I want to invest in them with someone who values the same things as me, who has a similar vision or a similar way of operating. These two things really go hand in hand, and you can't have one without the other. So a prompt for you is to think about the problems that you solve for your clients with your high ticket offer, and make sure that you're talking about that in a micro way. I found that sometimes people have the tendency to be either really good at the macro or really good at the micro topics. And it can take a bit of support and some skill building to get good at the other type. For me, I'm really good at the macro, and I've really needed intention and frameworks and support to pull out some of the micro conversations. But as soon as I learned to do that, sales started happening way more easily. And the problem with why we so often don't hit the mark in our messaging is because we struggle to see ourselves. Because we're so immersed in our work and we're so multi-talented. And this is why I'm so uniquely positioned to help my clients develop their messaging frameworks and language to talk about their magic and brilliance. This is literally my gift. And it's also why I still need outside help with the same work. I still need help to see myself. And it's just one of those areas of business that we need that support. And you can't just muscle through it alone without constantly coming up against our own blind spots. The Cosmic Copy Mastermind is the place to get the support that will bring your dream of becoming a six-figure creative to life in 2025 by selling your high-ticket offers with sales copy driven by stories and guided by astrology. Your goal is to fill your high-ticket offer with dreamy soul clients. But right now, you're wondering what exactly needs to shift in your content to start seeing consistent sales month after month, right? You're posting consistently, and maybe you're even getting great engagement, but you can't quite figure out why people aren't lining up to buy your life-changing offer. You know your work is incredible. Maybe you're even getting a ton of referral clients, but when it comes to putting your unique magic into words that clearly paint the picture of what it's actually like to work with you, it feels complicated. Or maybe you keep getting in your head about your high ticket prices and thinking that that's the problem. Well, let me tell you, it's not your price. You're not alone in this. It's not easy to put your magic into clear copy that converts when you try to do it alone. I've made multiple six figures in my business, and I've written copy for more than 1,000 entrepreneurs, and I continually invest in mentorship around messaging. Why? Because it makes it easier to consistently create content that leads to sales every month. That's why I created this mastermind, where we'll use your astrology chart to remind you of your unique genius, gifts, and personal story, using personalized prompts with my hands-on support and edits to translate all your magic into content that's building your six-figure brand in a way that feels authentic, aligned, and so much fun. This is my magic, helping you to attract deeply compatible clients through authentic storytelling driven by your unique astrology, and doing it in an inspiring community of other creative entrepreneurs making big moves, living life to the full, and building your version of a six-figure dream business. Message me the word mastermind on Instagram at SarahMacMagic for the full details. So I know I talk about astrology all the time, but this was a really interesting thing that stood out to me in my human design that helped me to really accept and acknowledge and embody and talk about this gift that I have in my work with clients, because I have very specific channels that just make me so good at my work. And this is why I love using human design and astrology, because it backs up and it externalizes some of our own brilliance, which can then make it much easier to talk about it. So my channels that make me good at my job, I have channel 13 and 33. So I'm like a collector of stories. How I'm good at storytelling is because I'm a really good listener. And obviously with all of my Gemini placements, I have that natural curiosity and I am amazing at asking questions. And I'm very deeply receptive and tuned in to other people's life journeys and stories. So a big part of my work is really holding space and listening deeply, and then alchemizing those stories into meaning, into storytelling that is then accessible from other people, from our clients and audiences. So this is the storyteller channel that I have in my design. Another one I have is 43 to 23, which really brings in that intuitive knowing that kind of defies logic. Like my ability to pull out the story threads from somebody's life and somebody just rambling about their work and turning that into a cohesive story, and also to be able to explain complex ideas simply. This is honestly, like, simplicity is so much harder than complexity when it comes to copywriting and communication, as I'm sure you know. As a writer, coming up with a shorter character limit is so much harder than just writing everything and being able to write copious amounts of information down on the page. So being able to do that about ourselves, it just adds another layer of challenge and complexity. So having someone who can just allow you to rant and ramble, and having someone who can be like, these are the value pieces, these are the golden threads, these are the things your client needs to hear, and this is how we talk about it. That makes it so completely unique to you that you become a category of one in your brand and messaging. So I really have that ability to, and I get intuitive downloads and insights as clients are sharing information about themselves with me. And then the other channel I have is 20 to 10. It allows me to be a mirror to my clients. So by my reflecting back to them, and it's actually such a simple process, like in conversation with a client, I hear everything they have to say. I ask them questions, they share their stories with me, and then sometimes I literally just reflect it back to them. I just read back to them what they have just shared with me, and I ask them, can you see how this is the most valuable thing about your work? And admittedly, it was my good question that unlocked that clarity. But sometimes it can be that simple, is just having someone to ask you the right questions and to hold up the mirror to your own brilliance for you to really be able to pull out those key threads that make your work really clear to others. Because like I say, your story is your curriculum. It's all already inside of you. And we get there through really bringing that presence and that reverence to ourselves and to our story, which again can be really hard because of the imposter syndrome and the anxiety around money and the visibility fears and the triggers and all of the things that we experience when we are showing up and sharing our stories online. So I reflect back to my clients the power of who they are and also where they are in the moment, because this is another challenge. We're always evolving. Our clients are always evolving. Our genius is always evolving with every client conversation we have. With every day that we invest into our own work, we improve, we deepen our skills, we develop our methods. So being able to constantly connect with where you are now and have language and frameworks to be able to translate that in a clear way, this is the skill that unlocks sales and clients for you. So this is why clients will hire me and rehire me when they are developing new offers, because we do evolve. And this is really the benefit of having a messaging strategist in your back pocket while you are launching your offers. Because once you've developed content pieces that convert, that are proven, you can really rinse and repeat that content to make money from that offer for years to come. Like my intensive, my private intensive, my cosmic sales page intensive that I developed over a year or two. And I've had that offer in various forms, but in its most recent edition for more than a year. And I use the same sales page. I use the same content pieces and emails when I want to relaunch it and when I refill, I want to sell more spots in that offer and I make thousands of dollars every time I use that copy that I developed for that offer. Same thing has happened for, high ticket one-on-one packages, for masterminds. So really creating the time and space to get the right messaging to position your high ticket offer. When you make that investment, you can then make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars off that for years to come using that messaging that you have developed. So one of the most common things I hear from people is, I just want to be able to show up and be myself. But so often when I'm doing that, it's actually not converting. So like, what is missing? How do I close the gap and really get clients to know and understand and see, I need you and I need your work? So the gap here is you need someone else to reflect your own genius back to you. And you need someone who understands how to position a high ticket offer in the market. Because real talk, this is how I feel now. I do feel like I get to show up and I get to just be me and I get to talk and stream of consciousness. And naturally, what I share, it's attracting the right people for my high ticket offers and it's leading to high ticket sales for me. But real talk, I needed to learn strategic brand messaging and copywriting principles, often very simple frameworks, but then also doing that deep work to really understand how to talk about my own genius and magic and find the language and really test the messaging so that I know what levers to pull. I know what copy and words and phrases to share, which parts of my story to talk about that is bringing in clients for me. This is a continual refining and tweaking process. I know what questions to ask my clients, for example, in my 90-minute intensive, that will really create verbatim copy in their own voice that they can use on their sales page. Because this is the other thing too, is you don't want to be using sound bites like everybody else. And when we lean into our story and our true desires and the details of our own life and work, like the real specific true details, not like catchphrasy descriptions of our work, it creates original, authentic, and powerful messaging that's then easy for you to replicate across all of your launch content. And you have those little sound bites that you can get repetitive with that really establishes your brand and awareness of the work that you do. And this is the key to strategy that makes you feel like you're expressing yourself from your heart and letting it flow, but being able to know and trust that it is going to convert into high ticket sales. The right strategic principles allow you to go from it feeling forced or feeling like you're all over the place and you don't have a direction with your storytelling, or simply not converting, to being in flow with content that leads to people popping up in your inbox being like, hey, how do I work with you? Can you send me some more information about your offers? So next time you're feeling resistance or you're feeling like, oh, I don't want to work through this strategic challenge of understanding my magic and how to put it into the right words, ask yourself this question. If really getting through this challenge of really doing the work to find the message that lands with your dream soulmate clients, if this leads to $10,000 in sales, is it worth it for me? I thought so, right? And this is where support comes in. And in my mind, this is honestly the most valuable skill in business, especially if you're a personal brand. You can't just outsource, get a copywriter to do this for you. You have to be able to pull out your own uniqueness, and that has to be clearly communicated in your brand message. And creating content takes effort, so you might as well invest in learning to do it right to save yourself the wasted time and energy and years and effort of continuing to not hit the mark and not sign the clients into your high ticket offer. That will grow your impact and your income. Learning to translate your magic, we all need help with this. I still work with mentors to help me fine tune my ever evolving message, even though I've had this skill set for more than 10 years. And I'm actually developing a new offer to help you with this. So if you know that this is something you need help with, I want to invite you to jump on a call with me. I've been doing some research interviews with a few of you, which has been so fun to really get in the weeds, to find out what is feeling hard for you. And I want to speak to more of you. So email let's talk to sarah@withsarahmac.com, and then we'll find a time for us to connect for a short call and talk through where you are at with your messaging, and to pinpoint exactly what you need help with and the kind of support that will turn things around to really make it easy for you to be signing clients into your high ticket offers in 2026. And if I feel like I can help you, I can give you the information on my exciting new offer that is coming up. So stay tuned for more. I hope you've loved this series on soulmate client attraction. Let me know how it's landed for you. Let me know what your main pain points are and the main things that bug you around your messaging and what to talk about and how to sign clients into your high ticket offers. I really want to hear from you. I want to make this the best, most impactful, and most powerful offer to help you build the skills to finally get good at this. So you know exactly what to say when you show up and share content to lead to clients in your 5 to 10K plus offers. I'm so excited for this. I'm so excited for us for 2026. Make sure you continue to stay tuned. I have some very special and fun things coming up for you. And send me a message on Instagram @SarahMacMagic. Tell me your thoughts. I want to hear from you. Sending you so much love, and we'll see you next week. Bye.